rules on the board, please. Sanitize your hands, please.
Turn.
Perfectly clean hands. And then would you mind taking your temperature, my darling? If you could have it away from your forehead, about 5 centimetres away. That's fine.
So church is a bit different, so let me show you around. Come with me. So this is what it's going to be like if you come to church. So we're doing a lot of filming here at the moment for our Sunday mornings, for our kids slots, for our daily readings, all sorts of things. So it's slightly different in here, but it's still the same church. We are still here. We're going to be recording our Sunday mornings, our kids slot, our daily reading in this room. So it really has quite an exciting atmosphere. We have been setting up a studio so that we can film our QRBC kids at church. How exciting is that? So here's our craft area, and then over here is where we are going to be telling our stories from now on. Super comfortable. So things are going to be slightly different. Our videos might look a bit different, but we will have different people who join us in QRBC Kids videos from now, which is very exciting. And today is all about Esther. For Such a Time as This by Queen Esther. Lots of kids dream of being kings or queens. I am one of those lucky few, and I actually got to be a queen. But it wasn't really luck, and it wasn't for any reason I ever expected. I was just a girl when it all started. I was living with my cousin Mordecai, who had adopted me and raised me like his own daughter. We were Jews, which meant life wasn't always easy for us. One day, King Xerxes decided to find a new queen, and lots of girls tried out. But the king chose me. Xerxes treated me better than I could have ever imagined, and my life was filled with the most delicious feasts, the sweetest perfumes, and the fanciest clothes, and the most brilliant jewels. But there were some problems, and I didn't tell the king I was a Jew because Mordecai told me to keep it a secret. On top of that, King Xerxes' right-hand man Haman hated my cousin Mordecai because Mordecai refused to bow down to Haman. So that scoundrel Haman hatched a plot to trick the king into ordering all Jews to be killed. Every last one of us, and that would include me. Mordecai told me to talk to Xerxes right away and plead for the Jews. But it was really risky. I could have been killed. Yet if I didn't try, then all the Jews and my people would be killed too. I was so scared and I didn't know what to do, but Mordecai helped me make up my mind. He said, "Maybe you were made queen for such a time as this." That was all I needed to hear, and I had to try. I invited Xerxes and Haman to a fancy dinner. Haman thought it was quite an honour to be invited to eat with the king and queen. Little did he know what was going to happen next. The king started the meal by asking what I wanted. "I will give you everything and anything," he said, "even if it's half of my kingdom." "I have just one request," I said. "Would you please spare my life and the lives of my people?" the Jewish people. Someone has paid to have us all killed. Xerxes turned red with anger. Who would do such a terrible thing like that, he asked. Who would dare to hurt the queen? I pointed at Haman. He's our enemy, my king, I said. Haman was dead before bedtime. Not only were my people safe now, but the king also made Mordecai his new right-hand man. Xerxes gave him a royal robe and a gold crown and put king's rings on his fingers. God made sure I became the queen at just the right time. Since God loves us, he put me in just the right place to save his people from disaster. When the king chose me to be his queen, I had no idea what was going to happen. Xerxes thought I was so beautiful and he really liked me. It was a strange new royal world I was living in and I wasn't sure what made me so special. But God knew what was going to happen. God placed me there for one reason, and that was to protect my people. That happens a lot, you know. They find themselves in situations where they're not very comfortable, or where they feel they don't belong, or where we have no idea why we're there or what's going on. But God always knows. He knows our future. God puts us in the place he knows we are supposed to be. Who knows what God has in store for you? So obviously a king or a queen needs a crown. So I'm going to give you an example of how we can make one of these crowns so that we can pretend to be kings and queens. I have got here some pipe cleaners and some beads. Now you don't need beads, but it would be quite fun. And the pipe cleaners are brilliant because we can use them to create our crown. Now we have made a few crowns on QRBC Kids so far. We made some outside, we have drawn some. You could use whatever you want to, but I'm going to give you an example of how you can use pipe cleaners to make one of these crowns. So we're going to start off with the same colour pipe cleaner, and this is to make our shape of the base of our crown, okay? I need one, and then I'm going to put another one because it wasn't quite long enough. See if that one fits, and it just needs to go all the way around your head. So I've used 3 pipe cleaners here. Okay, so there is the perfect base for my crown, and now we're just going to add to it. So it's very simple. So I'm going to start by adding the front of my crown, and I'm going to put a few beads on here because I want it to be nice and sparkly. So how we attach them is just wrap the pipe cleaner around the base of your crown. And then from this point you just keep going and keep adding whatever you want. So this is the one that I made earlier, and I am just going to carry on with this one so that I have some more patterns all the way around. But it means that your crown can be really unique to you at home. Wow, Ella, these look great! If you guys at home make one of these crowns, or you use different material to make a crown, do send them in. We're going to put the email address just here. That is it from us this week. We will see you on Sunday, and if not, we will see you next week. Bye!